What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Spin Tires taking a look at another mod. Now, this is a Chevy K20 truck mod, and basically what this thing is it's kind of a mixture between a functional truck and, I wouldn't say a rock crawler or anything like that, no kind of like crazy mud bogger, but it actually does have really nice climbing capabilities, and it's not bad in the mud either. Now, I've done a little bit of testing on this truck, and real quick I'm going to show you the options that it actually comes with. So you've got the lumber rack, which, I mean, it's cool. I think it's actually interesting because it kind of helps provide a little bit of rollover protection too. You've got the you've got the toolbox, which is my personal favorite. I think it looks really good. I mean, it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't quite fit, but I think that could be tweaked in a later mod and maybe an update. But I think it looks really good, and that's my personal favorite. Now, you've also got the roll bar, which comes with an extra set of lights and antennas, and that looks really good as well. So, it kind of comes down to whether you like the truck with any of these add-ons, or if you don't like any of them, you can have it in just basic form. I'm going to run it with the toolbox, just because I think that looks kind of cool. And, let's see. We've got the default wheels and tires, we've got Super Swamper boggers, and then we've got another set that's called exactly the same thing, but it's not exactly, yeah, no. No, I refuse to run that. So, go back to these. I like them a lot. These Super Swamper boggers, I think they look really good. Now, go ahead and get going. And the thing is, right off the bat, you notice that it's actually not slow. It takes a little bit for it to get up to speed, but it's a truck. You know, I mean, it's going to take a little bit for any truck to get up to speed. Well, almost any truck. The race truck people are going to be in the comments. I know, right now. I can hear them coming. But, as far as getting through the mud, I'll show you guys in a second how this thing does, but I mean, even through just basic mud, it does pretty much fine. Now, when you want to get over rocks in this thing, I highly suggest putting it in low, because once you put it in low, there's really no chance that you're gonna mess it up. I mean, it just crawls. As long as you get in the right position and don't snag the back of the truck, which is what I've done here. And if you do that, you're gonna have to just back up and start over, which you have to back up and start over all the time in off-roading, so it's not a big deal, really. And you just climb right up over it. Well, you're supposed to climb right up over it. You're supposed to climb right up over it. Whether or not you do is completely up to you. And it looks like the truck decided on a different plan. One more time of backing up and trying this. We'll put it in high this time and just be like, yeah, just full power. I mean, when low doesn't work, full power is your next best option. Did we damage it at all? Nope. Not really, anyway. Now, this section, I brought it here because this section is really good for testing out the suspension. And this thing actually has a really good suspension setup. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's quite on the level of, say, the SID Raptor, but it's close. It's actually really close. It's got a nice bit of travel to it. It's not ridiculously stiff. It is kind of stiff if you're going fast, but that can be changed, like depending on what the mod author does later on in the future. Now, as far as mud, and I'm actually deliberately going to try and get this thing stuck first. So, all-wheel drive and diff lock off, throw it in high, and then just deliberately let it spin for a bit and get it stuck. And the thing is, we're not even in all-wheel drive, or nor do we have the diff lock on, and it's actually already plowing through the mud. So when we kick the all-wheel drive on, no, that's diff lock. When we kick the all-wheel drive on, things get a lot better. But when we kick the diff lock on, I mean, it just goes. There's no holding it back at that point, really. And I mean, you're at this point, you're pretty much just plowing through mud, and you'll eventually get out. I mean, it's not a question of if you'll get out, it's a question of when you'll get out. And, whoop, if I can get the camera angle right. That's always, I mean, it's still, to me, that's still the only thing that I have trouble with in Spin Tires is getting the camera angle right. It's always so iffy, you know? Like, the camera angle is always like, well, I might get it right, but if I put it this way, then, I don't know. Camera angle. Now, if you want to use it as a mud truck, that's fine. And if you want to use it as, like, a climbing truck, that's fine, too. But personally, what I use this thing for is exploring, because it kind of breaks up the usual kind of like the usual setup for an exploration vehicle. Usually, it's like a UAZ or a modified UAZ or some kind of Jeep or like a Suzuki Samurai, something like that. But this kind of breaks up that trend and just makes it a fun vehicle to use because it's different. And you know, depending on which vehicle you want to replace, I mean, by default it replaces the ZIL, I believe, but you can have it replace whatever you want. You can have it replace the UAZ, which is probably, if it was up to me, that's what I would do, is have it replace the UAZ. But let's see if we can get some climbing action real quick. Oh, wait, I was like, the shift knob is black, and I was like, did they put a shifter in and forget to put a shift knob on it? That'd be a bit of an interesting mistake. Stick it in low for this climbing and see how it does. And like I said, suspension's got some nice travel to it, some nice flex. You're never really going to be dealing with a lack of suspension travel here. I mean, you may get snagged once or twice, but that's more, I feel like that's going to come down to more of the driver than the truck. And the lights do work. All of them. All of them. It will light up, it will light up a night run in spin tires. Absolutely. You know what? We are going to bypass the trail just a little bit, but in a different spot than we did in the last one. In the last test. Try and go between these trees. Ooh, not bad. As long as you don't slide. Okay. We're good. Well, at least I thought. Pop it in high and see if we can grab a little bit of traction at least. There it is. Thing is, this is one of those trucks where it'll spin and spin and spin, and then the second it grabs traction, it will just rock it. It will absolutely hook up and go. No questions asked. It is just... And the thing is, I think that's got to do with a couple things. It's got to do with the tires, it's got to do with the grip level, obviously, but it's also got to do with the way that this truck is geared. And the gearing is interesting because the lower gears are actually really low, and then the higher gears, they're really, really high. And a lot of what a lot of people in spin tires end up doing, at least in my experience, is they'll gear everything really low, and so the trucks aren't really that fast, but they have decent crawling. This thing has both the crawling and the high-speed stuff, so I actually think it might be able to do somewhat decently at the Blackwater Raceway. Now, that might be a little bit of a stretch. I have yet to test it there, but I feel like it could be done. I feel like there's definitely more than enough speed here for it to be able to make it around the track. Now, again, we haven't found it out yet, so it may actually be extremely slow when we take it on the Blackwater Raceway. I don't know. But let's try and climb up these logs. I always like to try and climb them, but, whoop, okay, that worked. Now stop before you fall out the edge. Actually, let's put it through the Range Rover test. This will go well. Oh, is it going to right itself? Yes? Yes? And we're good to go. Just started right off in high, well, and then we killed it again. But for some reason, it just decided to get back on its wheels. I don't know. It's just random. It randomly decided to get back on its wheels. That was not in accordance to the laws of physics by any means. But then again, not a lot of things in spin tires are. So, I think you kind of have to accept that at some point. Just try and dig its way up the hill. Not bad. Oh, wow, okay. A little bit of a drop on the other side. Come on, then. Oh, I got this. Not too bad. Actually, you know what? You know what? Before we finish up this test, let's see how it does with these really goofy-looking tiny tires, like tiny wheels and tires. Let's see how it does with them, because, like I said, they're really goofy-looking. Actually, back to the auto mode. And it's leaving the weird black tire tracks, which really means only one thing. I did something wrong with the textures. That's all that means. Either the modder didn't do something with the textures, or I just... Yeah, no, that's something I did. I guarantee you, I made a mistake with the textures. Oh, come on. No. Oh, whatever. What, I love I'm just like, whatever, we'll go this way. I wonder how this is gonna go. Because with the larger tires, it didn't do all that well, but I don't know, with these smaller tires, it's doing even worse. And honestly, that's what you'd expect, but yeah, no, with these smaller tires, it doesn't really do all that well. But if you guys enjoyed this quick test of this Chevy K20 mod, then don't forget to leave me a like, tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. And also, if you guys want to try out this mod for yourself, a link will be in the description box below. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.